Welcome back. Today I'm going to take this plain pine piece of furniture and give it a massive dose of vintage soul with a sprinkling of apothecary vibes. So here's the before, and please excuse my voice, I do have a head cold at the moment. So this one I'm going to concentrate a little bit first on the prep work because it wasn't as easy as what I thought. I picked this up on Facebook Marketplace and I do upcycle these pieces very regularly. They're usually waxed, so this piece actually had a dark varnish over it, but when I started sanding the piece with my electric sander, I realised that that varnish had been applied over the wax. Now, there's two different ways of tackling a wax finish versus a varnish finish. Typically, you can clean and scuff sand a varnish finish and it's okay to paint. Wax does have to be removed. However, because the varnish had been applied over the wax, I did have to use my carbide scraper and scrape everything back to bare wood. I needed to get underneath the varnish to make sure the wax was removed. And I needed to take this back to bare wood. And just to ensure that there was no wax residue left, I did use white spirits and wire wool, just to make sure any little bits of wax that might have been left over have been completely removed. I wouldn't advise sanding wax off because what this does is clogs your sandpaper, and it also can warm the wax up in the sanding process and drive the wax into the wood grain, which can result in the wax still being there, but it's now kind of in the wood grain, which is going to cause adhesion problems when you put your paint over the top. So because this piece has lots of flat, plain surfaces, this is just the easiest and quickest way for me to do it. So once I'd scraped it, used the white spirits to remove any wax residue, I then went in and sanded it. This is just going to make sure everything is nice and smooth. There's no rough bits from the stripping procedure. Finally, I gave it a really good clean. That's just going to ensure there's absolutely nothing left on that wood, and we've got a completely blank canvas for painting. Now, the only other problem is that the drawers do have a little bit of detail on them, which means it was kind of tricky to use that same method. So as you can see, there is some of that dark varnish on the drawers with the wax trapped underneath. I couldn't use my scraper because it has a sort of curved surface. It's pine, which is a soft material, which means you can quite easily gouge chunks out of the wood if you're not careful. So I'm using a chemical stripper. The reason I'm only using it on this area is because the other areas were actually quicker to do with my other method, with the scraper and the white spirits and the cleaning. Much easier to do on a flat surface, impossible to do on an area like this. So I'm just using the chemical stripper on this detail around the drawer edges. Once the chemical stripper had sat on the surface for a little while, I went in with a little bit of wire wool to scrape the residue off. I also used a scraper. Now this is a sort of triangle shape and it's quite a small blade. It is specifically used for getting into corners and crevices, so anywhere that I physically couldn't get that wire wool, I'm just really gently using this to scrape out that wax and varnish gunk. The worst bit about chemical stripper for me is the cleanup. However, I have found this to be very successful and efficient. So this is a product called Scrubby Soap. It's a bar of soap with a scrubby infused into it, and it's got essential oils which just melt away any residue from chemical stripper. And I've tried this with several different chemical strippers now, and it works an absolute charm with each one. So I just gave it a quick scrub to see where we were at, gave it a wipe down, and then the last thing I did, just to get in any details, is use a wire brush. Now this isn't a steel brush because it would have been too harsh for the soft pine. This is actually a brass wire brush, which is a lot softer. You can buy them in packs from Amazon. So once the prep work had been done, and I can appreciate that that was a good 5 minutes of the prep work, but believe me, it took me several days to get that far. We have got now a completely stripped back piece of furniture, back to bare pine. I'm not going to prime this. I'm going to be using lots and lots of texture and layers. So this piece does not need priming. If I was using a pale colour, or if I was going for a one colour kind of sleek finish, then I would be using a primer, but I'm not. So the first thing I did is mixed in some sea spray, which is the powder additive that you can see me pouring into my paint. And I mixed that in with Dixie Belle's chalk mineral paint in the shade Caviar. So sea spray is just a texture additive, like I mentioned. It's a powder that you can mix into your paint. It makes the paint slightly thicker and also gives it a slightly more grittier texture. So it's perfect for creating lots of different faux finishes on your furniture. And the idea of this piece is that it wants to look like a kind of old apothecary cabinet. So I am going to want some texture on this piece. My customer didn't want it to be too heavily textured like pieces I've done before, but she did want some texture. So I'm just stippling my base coat with that sea spray all over to create that texture. I used 1 scoop of sea spray to about half a tub of Caviar. I mixed it directly into the paint pot because I knew I was going to be needing a lot of this. So I had about half a tub left and I mixed 1 scoop into it. Obviously, the more sea spray you add into your paint, the thicker it's going to be and the more texture you can create. This one wasn't too textured or too thick. And the other thing you do have to bear in mind as well, the more sea spray that you add into your paint, the quicker that stuff is going to dry down. And it dries down like concrete. This stuff is super hard and super durable. The brush that I'm using to apply it with is a natural bristle brush because that's going to help promote the texture. Generally speaking, synthetic brushes are better if you want a smooth finish, and natural bristle brushes help you create more texture and different effects. So this piece is going to have some really subtle layers, and I'm going to do that using brown because when you add brown over black, it kind of makes the black look a bit aged and worn. So this colour is called Coffee Bean. It's the darkest brown from Dixie Belle's chalk mineral paint range, and I've added some water in my paint so that it's not going to be a solid colour. Obviously I don't want to put brown straight over my black because then the piece will be brown. So I've put some water in it so it's a little bit more sheer, and I'm just stippling it all over just to create a little bit more depth and dimension. So I did that all over, and then I wanted to create even more dimension on the drawer fronts. So I'm using an even lighter brown. This one's called Pine Cone, and I'm just adding it on with a little spritz of water to kind of get the paint to run down a little bit. So remember, I'm trying to make this piece look kind of old and give it apothecary cabinet vibes. And don't worry, it's not going to be that prominent when you see the finished look, because this piece does rely on quite subtle layering to give that aged effect. So I'm just dabbing this on in random areas, but I'm also putting it on the centre of each drawer to create a little bit of an almost highlight in the centre, which is going to create a little bit of dimension. And once I'd added as much pine cone as I wanted to kind of create that dimension, I just wiped a little bit of it back so it wasn't quite so obvious. I am going to be going over this with other colours as well and layering some darker colours back over the top, but I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't too overpowering. And then finally, I'm going to go back in with my black paint. So the browns are kind of sandwiched between the black. And this black paint, it hasn't got any sea spray in it, so it's not got any texture additive in it. But I have added a touch of water in it, and you can see me spraying the surface with water as well, which again is going to make the black more sheer so that you can see those layers of brown peeking through underneath. I'm concentrating the black application around the edges of the drawers, and then I'm just slowly bringing it into the middle to cover that lighter brown area. So I don't want it to look like a splodge of brown paint in the centre. I want it to look like paint that's been gently worn away over time. So essentially the paint technique for this was apply my base coat in black, sandwich some browns in between to give it more of a warmer antique-y kind of feel over the black, and then finally go in with a bit of watered down black to bring that depth and darkness back. To add another layer of depth and dimension, I'm going to be using waxes to finish this. The reason I like using waxes is because it's not just a top coat for protection. You can actually add more effects with coloured waxes. So I usually start with a coat of clear wax. I'm applying this with a sponge because there's lots of flat areas on this piece, and I just find that this gives a nice consistent even finish. Once I'd applied the clear wax and worked all of that in, I'm going to use brown wax again to add to that kind of antique and richness. You wouldn't think that a brown wax would show up over black, but it really does, especially when the light catches it. It really adds, like I say, that depth and richness to the black paint and gives it a very antique-y kind of feel. Again, I'm using a natural bristle brush for this because I find that they're the best to apply wax with. If you use a synthetic brush for wax, it kind of clogs the bristles up and you don't get very good application of the wax. So I always use these kind of brushes for wax, and I'm just concentrating the majority of the brown wax in the kind of corners and recesses, so that I'm not just applying it all over the piece. It is going to add to that dimensional look. Always make sure to buff your wax really well after you have put your application of wax on. That's just going to remove any excess product from the surface and help it dry down and cure hard. Otherwise, it'll stay sticky and tacky on the surface. As always, there's a few close-ups of the final look. I hope you can see the difference between just what would have been a plain black painted piece versus this piece, which has got lots of different sheer layers that have built up that dimension. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and I'll catch you next time. Bye.